Hey viewers, FYI, this is going to be read off a notepad file because this whole speech I can't just think up on my own, so forgive me. But, woohoo! Welcome to the 1-year celebration of me on YouTube. Beer, drugs, and girls. Party on, everyone. Get your dance on. If only. But you know what? I think that down-to-earth vids like this without all the fast pacing and whatnot they're probably the most special ones of all. Even if this 1-year anniversary celebration is a bit more somber than intended, you all probably know why. The coronavirus. Duh. Which by now, the most reasonable, sane person should be able to concur that much of it is a fear campaign, and not so much a disease. Otherwise, I'd have gotten it eons ago, and I haven't been wearing a mask. But that's not to say that said fear campaign hasn't affected me greatly this year, and right now I'm gonna reflect on it a bit. And admittedly, one subject I have to touch upon might make me lose a couple of followers in the process, and as of this video, I've only just over 100 subs, but I'd rather be real than fake. So I've entered my 30s as of September 18th, 2020. Mentally speaking, it's been kind of hard dealing with it, much due to my pure OCD, which means tons of overthinking. It, coupled with the pandemic fatigue we've all been experiencing, has just been sending my mind to some really dark places. I've been looking for healthy means of coping, but sadly, I just feel like my creative juices have been all but completely drained from me because of this aura of doom and gloom roaming about the environment around me. I mean, my last really high-octane edited episode of my vlogging series, it was published back in June, and that one really burnt me out too. I have another episode in the works, filmed in late June, and yet haven't even finished. Just can't bring myself to work on it, and wonder if I should even bother with it, because in all honesty, it's just me, the American Crusader and callsign Pegasus Man bowling. I did come up with some pretty funny jokes, though. Also got my first gameplay vid in the works. Learn how to film those, finally. I've even had to delete a couple projects because, again, I just couldn't do it. It just felt like they lacked the passion from within them. I'm sorry, guys. I just don't know when I'll be able to find my highly creative editing side again. But in the meantime, as you can tell, I have really been getting into karaoke as of late due to my discovery of an advanced vocal remover software, and karaoke's been a big passion of mine since the 2010s. And just for the longest time, I've been wanting to make more metal and punk karaoke tracks, which up until now I haven't been able to do it. Now I can make almost any karaoke I want. Thanks, Light Records. Those vids are gaining me some attention, and plus they do keep you guys entertained as you're waiting for something more on the lines of my vlogging series. Ernie C. of Body Count has taken notice, the thrash band Evil Dead, Mina Caputo of Life of Agony, Danny Schuler from Biohazard, Neil Turbin, Al Burrill of SSD and his wife Nancy, Siege, Necrogoblicon. And I'm thankful for all that. Them and a bunch of porn stars, believe it or not. Hi, Dakota, Lorena. But the fame, it's just a tool, though. Every time I do something fun and exciting for the camera, the number one thing I think of is my fiance, all the way over in the UK. And yes, she is cool with porn stars admiring me. But anyway, she is everything to me. I've actually known her for over a decade, which is obviously more than enough time to build some sort of believable chemistry between me and her. And for years, I kept putting off the thought of marriage. I thought it was a total joke with all the reality television I've seen. But even so, I kept having thoughts of suicide, bouts of depression. Didn't know why, but it's because I felt so alone. Then in late 2019, I popped the question to her. Been excited ever since. And then COVID happened, which put nearly everybody on lockdown, a big mistake in the end, and delayed me and her meeting up. Throughout the year of 2020, I've been talking to her via video call, feeling like it truly was the end of the world, that I was never going to see her because of these corrupt politicians. Adding to that, she hasn't exactly got the best mental health. I don't mean to bring you up, embarrass you or anything, darling, but I have to bring it up. And she's living all alone by herself. It just worries me every single day I'm not there to lay in bed and cuddle with her. At least she does have her son from a previous relationship coming to visit her nearly every weekend. Yeah, I'm about to be a stepfather, which I'm excited because I can't wait to show off the good old SNES and N64 to him. Video games from way back in the day. Maybe you'll see him as a special guest on a future gameplay vid/stream. Anyway, so my worriment and high determination to finally hug and kiss my fiancé in marital bliss, it admittedly drove me to the breaking point, culminating in what is probably the hardest decision I've ever had to make in my entire life. And this is where I might lose some people here on YouTube. This is that controversial thing I warned of earlier. And it's not like a hate crime or racial slur or anything like that. No. I'm not that kind of low life. Because, I mean, you guys know I'm a lefty. Anti-racism, pro-LGBTQ, doing something about social inequality, etc., etc. I'm all for that. I desire an almost perfect utopian society. I mean, nothing's ever perfect, really. But see, I believe in those values on a sentimental level. Institutionalized leftism, I have my doubts about. But I went along with them for a good while, thought that I was doing some good in this world. Then when the COVID fear happened, I got dealt a harsh reality check of just how corrupt these organizations really were. I thought my bunch would actually work to find a fast enough solution to clean up all this mess. But what did I get in the end? Face masks and lockdowns with seemingly no endgame in sight. AKA the harsh reality of life under communism and or socialism, whatever. I knew this existed, though. I knew that those ideas could become something authoritarian, but yet I also believed that maybe there had to be some way to pull them off without the sacrificing of democracy. I believe people like non-compete and re-education. They're genuinely good people, and they're working hard to try and find a good solution to all this without any arrogance. I want a socially equal world. But I don't know at this point if there is such a thing as unauthoritative socialism or not. What the hell I can call my utopian beliefs now? Pfft, hell if I know. But because of neoliberalism finally showing its true ugly face, and me doing my political research because I felt I had no one to turn to anymore, not even Bernie and AOC, I had no choice but to vote for Donald Trump. Look, back in 2016, did I want to believe the white supremacy Nazi accusations against him? Yeah. But something just seemed way off about what was levied against him. It all felt very one-dimensional, more ignorance than actual fact. So I kept an open mind, at least, did the same for, darn mosquitoes, did the same for the radical left organizations as well. It's true, corruption can come from either side. It can. But guess who ended up being the corrupt ones from their lack of action during this bullshit? Oh, and finding out that BLM is practically run by white supremacists didn't help things either. I do believe in the sentiment of Black Lives Matter, same with other minorities as well, which I show every single day by simply just shaking hands, high-fiving, and hugging. I don't need to go around murdering, raping, and pillaging. That's not progressivism. That's nihilism. As a progressive, I just feel betrayed, you know, especially after watching some Prager University videos. Oh, and we're not going to talk about the state of California, but I will say the following. I will never work with the likes of Nancy Pelosi, ever. After what I've seen, if I were to go into mainstream politics at all, I'd honestly rather register as a Republican, because at least I won't have as many sycophants and yes men entouraging me all damn day, always telling me everything's all right, handing drugs, booze, and women to me on a silver platter that feel unearned. That will drive you to suicide. You may feel you have everything, but it all feels shallow, empty, meaningless. You become too busy looking at the city to notice the beautiful forest nearby. And yeah, I will never be a part of anything like that. And hell, you can still be a progressive in your heart and be registered as a Republican. Area DiMezzo is the perfect example of that. In fact, Area DiMezzo getting the Republican nom was about the only thing this year where social progressivism felt like social progressivism. And sure, she's very doubtful of Trump, but she doesn't seem like the one to block you if you support him. Hell, I wouldn't be surprised if her reaction to being asked about the J.K. Rowling controversy was just, I don't give a shit. You want to go out for some coffee? That's what I think she'd say. Anywho, to all my liberal and democratic followers, I'm sorry if I've disappointed you. I know Nancy Burrill, I know you're a Biden supporter, and it's okay. I'm not knocking you at all. I just hope we can agree to disagree. Sorry if y'all hate me, and I'm also sorry to my fiance for the, I guess, questionable political path I've gone lately, even though it didn't involve a single racial slur and or hate crime. Just some tough love type enlightenment with plenty of hugs and handshakes to go along with. Much like Prager you. In the end, I did none of this for me. I did this for her. Somebody near and dear to me that I love. I've made the choices I did, not for anything material, but for a significant other that I wish to spend the rest of my life with. And I will keep doing whatever possible to finally be with her, even if it means losing some friends along the way. But I mean, again, we can agree to disagree, right? It is possible. You can only achieve peace through diplomacy. And really, politics aren't going to matter much in the end. You guys, for those of y'all that are still with me, when we get together, you guys will finally get to watching our adventures. Culinary adventures, appreciating every single form of art there is, even opera and theater. The people we'll meet, the dumb stunts and pranks I'll pull, with an added dose of respect to European culture. It's not about politics. It's about humanity. It's about our relationships, friends, family, the hobbies we like to do. None of those things should ever be taken for granted. And I am not going to allow any more of this totalitarianism rule my or her life. I will keep singing my ass off for Instagram. I will fight to retain my humanity. I will do what I think is right until I'm finally able to hold and kiss her. And once again, my liberal/democratic followers, I'm going to keep shaking hands with and hugging people every single day I breathe on this beautiful green earth, regardless of ethnicity, gender, whatever. Those are all superficial. It's a scientifically proven fact. I still want an equal world, but I will not sacrifice democracy and or any of the little things in life, because then we could never be equal as a species. Well, this has been me, Lord Thorgorath, speaking to everybody from the heart. I love you, even if you hate me now. And to my fiancé, I love you so much. I don't know what the inevitable fate of me would have been without you coming into my life. I'm never going to stop believing in myself. I am going to keep at what I do until we're finally living together in a naturey setting together. And your son better get ready to experience old school gaming as well. See, I'm still smiling in the midst of all this despair. You're strong, I'm strong, we all are. We're going to get through this political nonsense and have one big party when Biden loses. Trust me, you won't be thinking about politics when you're jamming out in the club drunk. Have a nice day. Bye, everybody. And I love you, my dear. You're stuck with me forever.